Today we're talking about how you can drive sales with YouTube. Is it worth your time? Is it worth your money? We're also going to be giving you some tips and tricks on what you need to do to make the most out of your YouTube channel and videos. And today I'm joined by a good bunch of friends, Dane Golden over here, Tom Martin over here, and an up-and-coming YouTube automotive sensation all the way from Louisville, Kentucky. Please help me welcome the Chevy Dude, Mike Davenport. Mike, tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got started with YouTube and why.
Like you said, I'm based out of Louisville, Kentucky. I'm a Chevy car salesman, and I got started with YouTube because I moved to Louisville, Kentucky from a town 4 hours away from Louisville, and didn't know anybody in Louisville, so I thought that it was going to be a way that I could get known locally in Louisville and sell some cars.
Have you noticed results in terms of financial gain compared to where you were before you started with YouTube?
So financially, my year-to-year income is usually pretty consistent, but my sales are much easier. So it does allow me to, sell my product without negotiating, which is fairly hard to do in the car business, because I do have that trust, and people know they're going to be taken care of. And I think a lot of times what people realize is, hey, listen, I'm willing to pay a profit, I'm willing to pay a premium for great customer service.
Tom, you're from the UK, and here we got Mike from Louisville, Kentucky. How well would what Mike is doing right now on YouTube translate across markets in the United Kingdom, for example?
I think it'd be fantastic. I don't think we have that kind of personality, especially in the kind of business area of YouTube. I struggle to think of anyone in the UK that would be comparable to what Mike's doing.
What are the benefits, and how could someone emulate what Mike is doing?
I wouldn't want to kind of belittle how much work and effort Mike's putting in, but pretty easily, if depending on the industry. Obviously, it's going to take a lot of hard work, effort, resource, time. Mike's got a full-time job, obviously, but he's also filming, editing, planning, strategizing. Then you've got the whole upload part, SEO. But I think the benefits are really clear. That know, like, and trust factor. They're just so important, especially in sales.
Dane, tell us a little bit more about what you do and how you help businesses.
Right, well, we help businesses that are interested in taking a tutorial video approach to their marketing, and that's exactly what Mike is doing. And our company, I'll just say it's vidiup.tv, vidiup.tv. But I want to talk about Mike's example, if that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know we're short on time. He's talking about how the auto industry is not doing this, but there are mavericks like Mike in other areas, in cooking, we've seen people here in plumbing, in just all sorts of trades. Drywall, believe it or not, hundreds of thousands of views.
And they're all small businesses as well, with small budgets.
But these are people who are looking for business and had a skill and wanted to share. They have something in them that wants to help, not sell. And that's what we talked about at another conference, VidCon. I gave a presentation called Help, Don't Sell. And that's exactly what Mike is doing. I haven't looked at all his videos, but in the example that he's given about the Corvette, was it a hood that was hard to close?
The deck lid, the trunk,
Deck lid, okay. And people need to know this. I did some research for another company where we looked at all of the YouTube influencers for automotive worldwide. And one of the most popular videos we saw at the time was an old video shot on a terrible phone camera about how to start a Prius if the battery had gone out on your key fob.
Sure.
You think about it, that's a problem that somebody has, and they need to solve it right now because they're stranded. They're looking on their phone how to solve a problem, and this one person has given it to them. Who do you think they're going to go to? It's it's that person who's shown them and helped them with something they need and not giving them a hard pitch.
So I really like what I'm hearing here. I think one of the most important messages, because I talk to a lot of businesses on a daily basis, and a lot of people are afraid of getting into YouTube because they need to have everything perfect, or everything's got to be spot on, But what we notice in a lot of the other participants here at VidSummit, even Mike's doing it really well, is you got to, in my opinion, you got to do it consistently. You need to continuously generate content that's going to help people. And I really like what you said. You want to sell by helping, so to speak. But you want to help first, and then
that's more accurate. I always say help, don't sell, because that gets attention. But it's really help first to sell later.
Absolutely.
And you hit the nail on the head. So when I started creating these videos in 13 and 14 and 15, my goal was not to sell cars. My goal was to help people. But the underlining goal was in 2019, when the new 2020 Corvette is introduced, to sell a lot of those cars. And I sold 175 in one night.
You sold 179 Corvettes.
And how 75, how many YouTube videos did you need to make that sale? Or that performance?
500.
You need to, when you create a video, you need to create a video to deliver value, so that if the mention of your product was removed, it would still deliver value. So if Mike was giving a talk about, how to sit properly in the Corvette, if he never mentioned that he was a car salesman or that he worked for his particular dealership, that viewer would still be able to get that exact same value from that video. Because what a lot of times companies will just, instead of running a channel, they will just run what I would like to just call like a repository for their adverts.
Yes.
And that is not a video.
That happens all the time, doesn't it?
That's not a strategy.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
if you watch
that's just a broadcast.
Particularly in automotive, it happens.
Yeah, it's all about creating the value for the user, right? So that's why I think YouTube as a platform is so powerful for businesses, big and small. And I'm amazed at just how many big businesses don't get it right. But I think there's a lot of things that people can learn from a creator like Mike Davenport. And I just want to close off this afternoon, or today rather, with, depends on what time zone you're in. You gave a really great presentation yesterday, Tom, and you pointed out a lot of important things that people who are making videos and managing YouTube channels for their businesses. Do you want to kind of leave us with a few golden nuggets before we finish up today?
I think the most important tip that I can give to businesses, again, especially businesses that are being over promotional, is that their first instinct is going to get people to go to their .com or a landing page or get this free download. But the problem with that is, especially when you're in that initial growth phase of growing a channel, is the more that you send people away from YouTube, the more YouTube are going to stunt your growth, because they're delivering you traffic and you're sending their traffic away from YouTube. And they want people to stay on YouTube so that they can serve more ads, collect more data. So you need to give YouTube what they want, especially in that growth phase. Keep people watching more videos, just keep delivering value, and then eventually they'll visit your .com by osmosis.
The biggest tip that I can give someone is create value in yourself to have people not buy something from you.
Okay.
Sit there and create content that self-serves them, that down the road they'll be like, hey, listen, I'm not in the market right now, but I want to be in the market with this person later on.
I really encourage you to go and watch some of Mike's videos on his YouTube channel, because there's a lot of useful information. If you're in it for the long haul and if you're adding value to people and really giving them the information that they need when they're in market for a car or whatever other product or service they're looking for, it's down to offering that sort of value so they can make an informed decision and have an open and engaging conversation with the likes of Mike or even ourselves, So Tom, Dane, thank you very much for being here. You're great friends. We've been around for a long time. Mike, it's great getting to know you this time at VidSummit. I'm Tolis Dokianos with Apex Video Marketing. You can find more information about my services and what we do at apexvideomarketing.com, on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Thanks for paying attention to this video. We really appreciate your support. Make sure you subscribe to our channel and stick around for more in the weeks to come.